So it's Tuesday and the new moon celebration readathon continues until June 1st. So we're still going. I'm still reading Jaws. I realized that Jaws fits as my Gemini prompt, even though the author is not a Gemini, but I associate Jaws with my dad, and my dad is a Gemini, so this really just works out wonderfully, and I don't even feel bad about cheating. I'm enjoying the book a lot. It is different than I thought it would be. I guess I thought of the movie as being more like focused on the shark hunt, and the book is not yet anyway. I'm really enjoying the like character focus of it. There is kind of like this anti-capitalistic commentary, because the sheriff wants to shut down the beaches as soon as one person is attacked, and he gets a lot of pushback, so he doesn't. And so then more people are attacked, so then he's forced to shut down the beaches, and then he has people who want it open because the town relies on tourism. You know, there's the tension between the like summer people, so they're like the rich vacationers, and the year-round residents who struggle because their economy depends on being a tourist attraction. There's also a plot line that has to do with like not quite like a midlife crisis, but like midlife resentment. The sheriff's wife was one of those summer people, and she gave that up to marry him and stay. And so now they've been married for years. They've got kids my kids' age. I think their oldest son is 14. They have a 12-year-old and then a 9.5-year-old. So my kids are 12 and 10.5. So she's at this point where she's starting to feel older and kind of missing what her life was like before. So that kind of domestic drama and domestic resentment is adding almost like a literary element to this novel that I did not expect. I expected like a real mass market, pulpy, supermarket beach read. So I am pleasantly surprised with the fact that this is feeling more of just like a place and people kind of story than a shark hunt thriller kind of story. So I am loving the book. Problematic issues aside, as far as language and some content, I feel like all that is to be expected. So I think going in knowing that would be the case, I'm not like pulled out because of it. So yeah, gonna go read now. Okay, bye.
Come on, Owen, go get him, buddy. Step straight to the catcher, please. Pablo, back couple pops. Oh, Jack Matthews can catch it. Hey, Jack, it's 3 balls, dude. He thought it was 4 balls. He thought it was a half first back. Here we go. 3-2.
Owen or Oliver.
Oh, the big brother wins the bragging rights.
Figured I'll sit here and set the mood for some more Jaws discussion. But I know I mentioned yesterday how I was enjoying the character focus and the domestic drama that was starting to unfold in the story that I wasn't expecting. And that domestic drama is focusing on the sheriff and his wife, their marriage kind of being in this like weird place where like he is very aware that she married down. And he's always kind of like on the lookout for signs that she thinks poorly of him. So he's kind of got like a chip on his shoulder about that. And she does. Right now she's in a point in her life where like she has a lot of what ifs. And so with that, the book is like verging into like that sad girl kind of storyline where you're just watching this not quite young woman anymore battle with what appears to be like depression, or at least a moment of similar feeling. And so she's making bad decisions. And so last night after the kids' baseball games, I had to run some errands. I had to run to the pet store. The one in town was closed, so I had to go up to the next town. So I had time to listen to the audiobook. So I popped that on. And holy crap, I also spoke yesterday about how like the problematic themes in the book are to be expected. It was written and published in 1974 by a white man. There's going to be problematic language and ideas. Well, I don't even want to say it on here. Like, I don't even know how to like fill you in with how offended I am. So basically the sheriff's wife has decided to step out on her husband. And I really don't remember this from the movie at all. Like, she has a history with the ichthyologist who comes into town in response to like reports of this great white. So he's like, their expert shark guy. And so she actually has a history of him where like she had dated his older brother before she married her husband. And he's 10 years younger. And so there's like, she's trying to reconnect to him because he's from the upper class that she left behind. But it's like awkward because like he was like nine when she was dating his brother, and he was like, oh, I'm sure I was in love with you. I had a crush on all my brother's girlfriends. And now like she's like pursuing him. And they're flirting in a restaurant. They've snuck out of town to go for lunch together. And their talk has gotten onto like fantasies. And he asks her what hers are. And she's like, oh, the typical, every woman's fantasy. And he wants to know what it is. So she tells him. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, Peter Benchley, have you ever even met a woman? What? And that's where I was like, ooh. Let's get back to the shark now. That's enough character exploration. Let's get back to the shark. And that's where I left off last night. It's about halfway through the book. I'm ready to get on the water. Like, let's hop in a boat. I know they're gonna need a bigger one, but like let's get there now. Let's leave this woman alone for now. Okay? All right. I realized that I never actually wrapped up this Jaws vlog. I think what happened was I did a little clip of like rambliness right after I finished the book, and it was just super discombobulated, so I never actually finished editing and posting it. We are, let's see, June 8th at this point, so like, yeah, we're like a week after I even finished the book. I already posted my review on Instagram. Got like tree stuff falling on me. And I really loved the book. That one little scene, that infidelity scene in the middle of the book, kind of like took me out of it. Like, I actually was, as I was listening to that part, was nearly like, I'm done, DNF, but I kept going, and I'm glad I did, because like that part aside, there was much more about the book that I liked than didn't like. So did I possibly read too deeply into like a really shitty book? Yeah, that's possible. But I was really pleasantly surprised with the content of the book overall. I thought it went further than just like a superficial beach read. I thought in writing the hard time that the resort town Amity was having with the shark attacks and the beaches being closed, I feel like it was relatable, because it was very similar to what happened with COVID. And to me, and when I was explaining it to my husband, I thought the book really captured the way that capitalism fails us when there's pressure applied to it. In this case, the pressure was a man-eating fish. There was political corruption that just, there's always someone who gets rich, right? In 2020, it was Bezos. In Jaws, it was, there was a mafia storyline and some shady real estate deals taking advantage of the economy, experiencing a little collapse there because they didn't have their beaches. And there's always, dollars over people. Like, how much do we actually value human lives, and how much do we value human wallets? And that was all there in the story. I really liked that. So I recommend reading it. I'm trying to get my husband to read it. He's still only reading Harlan Coben this year, which, fine, he's got plenty of choices, but I didn't return Jaws to the library yet, and I have it on the side of his bed, hoping he'll pick it up. We went to the opening weekend for the drive-in theater a couple towns over. I've wanted for years to go, and this is the first time we have. My mom came up and stayed. She had a movie night in with the kids, so we had a little date night. Like, that doesn't happen often. And so we saw Jaws. Made sure to get myself a Jaws tank top, perfect for the occasion, and got lots of compliments on it. Was not the only one wearing a Jaws themed shirt. It was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the movie. It was like watching it for the first time, even though I have definitely seen the movie before. Who hasn't? But I can't remember the last time I watched it, like start to finish. It's one of those, it's always on TV, and so you always watch like that last scene. So I jumped. There was a certain part that like I jumped and was like, oh shit, and my husband got a kick out of it. Yeah. Okay, so Next up for summer reading is I don't know what. I'm thinking the blue tent. That arrived. I had to cave and order it. I had, aside from Karen and Heather's glowing reviews of that book, I saw someone else on Instagram review it, and I just, yep, had to order it. So I'm thinking that's my next read, although I'm still slowly reading The Island of Missing Trees, and when I pick it up, I am still reading Soul City, like barely starting Soul City, but that's one like I feel like I want to really focus on, and I haven't had that time to like sit and pay a lot of attention to something. So I want to start something new, but I have plenty of ongoing books, and so I feel guilty just adding to my current read pile. So we'll see what happens, but Jaws is done. I loved it. Check out my review on Instagram for more cohesive thoughts, and read it, watch the movie, go for a swim. Okay, bye.
I can go slow ahead. Come on down and chump some of this shit.